Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 15th of February. So looking at the forward for this morning, and well, I think some of these moves are happening quite early. Now the euro dollar, well, we're already seeing a sell-off this morning. Yesterday we saw a rally based on, well, partly the US retail sales came out so poorly, such a big miss. We saw the rally from that recovered back. I can show you that on the charts in a moment. But as much as it did what it did yesterday, running back into the 4 hourly 34 there, it sold off almost straight away within a couple of hours or so, and then rallied back up, but it's pulling back down, and it's still in this sort of wedge pattern. This wedge pattern in this downward trend, to me, well, it smacks of possibly further downside, so that's where I would be looking. Now, looking at the hourly time frame here, we've already seen quite a move here. Now, I was looking a short while ago thinking, oh, those lows back here towards the bodies there, maybe yesterday's lows would be a target, and maybe, but we're getting to a point where there's not much left in the tank for that, in terms of it's already pushed off so far. We'll see. It still may have some possibilities, but it's gone a bit early. Maybe if it pulls back, gives us a retrace, it gives me the opportunity. Don't really like the long side on that at all. The pound. So the pound, well, yesterday again, it looks at one stage like it was going to do a lot better, but sold off and, well, just carried on selling off. Not managed to do too much at all this morning. It's still erring towards the downside there. Certainly downward trend, lower highs, lower lows. It's all looking very weak. It's not really selling off quite the same way as the euro has this morning, although quite a reasonable move. Has it got some possibilities? Whoops, I've come down a little bit too far there. Let's just go back 60 minutes far enough. It has got some possibilities. We'll just look post 8 o'clock. Looking really towards the S1. Coming back to up the time frames to well, that's going to give us the break the absolute lows there. It's just here's the more recent lows. It's going to break those. So let's just have a look to make sure there's no obvious support from before that. Not really. So it leaves us open on the pound. Possibly for the downside there. Well, certainly for the downside is what I'm looking for. I'm just looking post 8 o'clock, see what it gives us at the moment. As I say, we've got this short-term little bit of support coming into play. So that's where we are at the moment. Okay, let's have a look at dollar yen. So dollar yen. Well, yesterday it's still in this upward trend here, but yesterday put that sort of almost bearish engulfing, not quite, selling off towards, well, it's just into its daily 50 at the moment, looking then for the daily 21, daily 8 looks there as well, actually. So a bit of strength coming in. Big question is it going to bounce soon? We'll see. The data yesterday wasn't good for the US, and I do wonder if we'll see a bit more correction on some of these currencies. But as I said, the pound and dollar both look weak at the moment. Of course, that could all change. But looking from where we are at the moment here, well, it's daily pivot above, but really looking quite bearish on this hourly time frame. Personally, for me, I'll probably leave it this morning and wouldn't touch it, but see how it corrects, see what sort of support it gets on that 200. If we start seeing it then roll back upwards, well, there's certainly targets the upside, but for now it looks more bearish. Aussie dollar, well, again, this one looks like it tried yesterday. To me, it's erring on the weak side fundamentally. Technically it is as well. It's not really managed to do too much this week. Couple of pop and drops, and it's dropping at the moment, heading south towards its S1. So often not a great deal of price action on an intraday basis on the Aussie, so we'll have to step aside and leave that for now. Canadian dollar, well, I was expecting this earlier in the week to roll over some more, continue to the downside. It hasn't managed to do so. Some iffy-ish data, and well, it's actually pushed the other in the other direction and looking like more likely to continue to the upside. If we see a break of this 200 daily 200 there, that certainly is erring more back onto the bullish side of things. Short term, well, it's already sort of starting to move. It's a shame it hasn't already come back and caught its daily pivot. It does look like it could be on for yesterday's lows in the R1, so certainly a possibility, but with that untouched daily pivot, I would stand aside on that as well. So, and I normally do, because my preference is towards the euro, the pound in the mornings. We see the bigger volumes coming through. So there we go. I'll be watching, as I say, these for post 8 o'clock moves to the downside. That's it for today. Have a great one. Bye for now.